Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashilakaya Chakshuramitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavati Pashyati Veshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna everyone. Alisha Mataji, Jyoti Priya Mataji, my audio video is clear?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So Bhagavad-Gita chapter 13 about nature, the enjoyer and consciousness. So, okay, what is nature? Anyone knows? What is nature of Prakriti? Like something about nature of Prakriti in what's said in Bhagavad-Gita. Anyone knows? We have discussed this. At least say me the three modes of, Abhinaya.
Okay, the nature of Prakriti is like indestructible, like
Yes,
it always
it
exists,
is.
right?
Okay, I think this is the right person to ask. Her name itself is Prakriti. Yes, Prakriti, tell about Prakriti.
Hare Krishna Mataji, there are three modes of material nature, the
Yes.
Sattvagun, the Rajagun, the Tamogun.
Very good. The Sattvagun, Rajagun and Tamagun. Rishabh, what do you know about Prakriti? Like something else. So Sattvagun means?
Sattvagun means pure qualities.
The goodness, good qualities. Rajagun?
Rajogun means attachment and bondings.
Passion and greed and all. Yes. Tamagun?
Tamagun means ignorance and...
very good. Ignorance. Like they don't know what is soul and everything like that. They're fully in the ignorance level. So tomorrow we have that chapter about the three modes of material nature, and you have a surprise also for you all. Okay. So that tomorrow we'll deal with nature, that is Prakriti. So tomorrow's chapter, Krishna is completely describing Prakriti or nature. Now the enjoyer. Who is the supreme enjoyer? Who is the supreme enjoyer? Yes, Nitikshna. Who's the supreme enjoyer?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Lord Krishna.
Yes, Chinmay, the Prabhu Lord Krishna. So, Nitikshna, which is that sloka? 5th chapter, 29th sloka. Bhoktaram. You know? The peace formula also. So, what is the meaning? What's the peace formula there? Krishna is the
supreme controller, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, and Krishna is the well.
Yeah. So Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. That's why he's called Purushottam. Purusha is enjoyer and Purusha Uttam is the best enjoyer. That's Krishna. We think we are enjoying all these things, these temporary settings, whatever we've got, this luxury life, we are enjoying. But no, this is not the real enjoyment. It's suffering. Along with the enjoyment, there's suffering in this material world. But Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Bhoktarameta tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sugurtam sarva bhutanam nyatva mam shantim richati. So in the 5th chapter, 29th sloka, we learned about the peace formula that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. And consciousness. This might be like a new term for you. Now let's discuss more on this consciousness level. What is consciousness? Why is this consciousness level very important in human life? Okay, so Krishna is going to give a key and open these treasure box of all these things. Okay, so today's chapter is about Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. Okay, nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. So let's see what's Kshetra, what's Kshetrajna, Vibhaga Yoga. So till now, Krishna was talking about Bhakti Yoga in the middle 6 chapters. From today, it's a different concept. It's about Jnana Yoga. Krishna is going to give a lot of information about many other things, okay, which we need to know. Now let's see that. Arjuna Vaja, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva, Kshetram Kshetrajna Eva Cha, Edat Vedidamichami, Jnanam Jnayam Cha Keshava, Shri Bhagavanu Vaja, Idam Sariram Kaunteya, Kshetram Iti Avidhiyate, Edat Yo Veditam Prabhu, Kshetrajna Iti Tatvidaha. Mataji, who chanted this sloka today?
Sharda Mataji.
Okay, very good. Okay, so Arjuna is asking something and Krishna is giving the reply. This is what Bhagavad-Gita is, right? The dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. What is Arjuna asking? Arjuna said, "Oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, that is nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, the field and the knower of the field, and knowledge and the object of knowledge." And what did the Supreme Personality of Godhead said? This body, or son of Kunti, is called the field. And one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. So just understand, our body is also called Kshetra. What is actually Kshetra means a temple. Okay, you got Kshetra, that Sanskrit word is temple. So how come our body is a temple? Anyone know why our body is considered to be a temple? Abhinaya, why do you think our human...
Because Paramatma lives in our body.
Very good. The Paramatma lives in our body. Yes. So in our heart, Paramatma is in our heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivesham. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hridesharjuna tishtati. So in Bhagavad Gita, in 2 places, Krishna says, I am in the heart of all living beings. So when the Lord, see, when you call it a temple, that means the Lord is there. The same way, the body is also called a temple, Kshetra. Why? The Lord is present in our heart. We may or may not realize it, but yes, he is there. He is there as a witness, Paramatma in our heart, along with the soul. So the Atma and Paramatma is in our heart. So since Paramatma, the super soul, or Krishna, is in our heart, that's why our body is called Kshetra, a field. And one who knows this Kshetra is Kshetrajna. That means you should know about the body, right? So what is our material body made up of? Anyone knows? The Panchabhutas. What are the 5 elements this material body is made up of? Anvesha?
Earth, water, fire, air, ether.
Very good. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Then what else is there, Anvesha, in our body? Okay, that is the material.
Mind, intelligence, false ego.
Very good. Mind, intelligence, false ego. And one more. The gross body, the subtle body, and what's the main thing in the heart?
Paramatma.
And?
Soul.
Soul, the Atma. Very good. Yes. So this is what our body. So you already know it. You know about your body. So that means you are Kshetrajna, or you're the knower of the field. So this is what our gross body made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. Till coming to Bhagavad Gita class, we thought we are this body, right? We didn't know that we are not this body. We are spirit soul. Okay, we know, but we didn't realize it little bit. So this gross body is what we are seeing outside. This is like a dress. I can keep changing. I got this dress for might be few years, and then when it's time, my soul has to leave the body. Dehinosmin yada dehe. What's just that sloka, Yadikshna?
देहिनोऽस्मिन् यदा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तदा देहान्तरं प्राप्ते नीरजस्तत्तमुच्यते.
Yeah, so second chapter, 13th sloka, Krishna says, we have to leave the body and the soul transmigrate to another body. We learned all that, right? So the soul. So that means there is a gross body, then we have a subtle body, as Mataji told, mind, false ego, and intelligence. We can't see it, but yes, we do have. And the soul, which is the Satchidananda. So the one who knows about this body, about the soul. This is the field of action, field, the knower of the field, who knows, okay, that is the Atma. And not only the Atma knows, the Paramatma also knows. See, I know this body, right? I know what is allergic to my body, what is the good food in my body, which medicine is good for me, or which I get allergic to. I know only about this body. I might know about my close relatives' body, like my kith and kin's body, but not about any strangers' bodies or someone else. I don't know. But Krishna knows everyone's body, right? You know, the sun shines on everyone. Wait, does it say that it shines only on this person? No, it shines on everyone. Does that mean the sun is many? No, the sun is only one. Same way, the Lord is only one, but He's manifested in all the living entities, right? In their heart. So the Lord knows everyone, everyone. But then we know only our body. So our body is called Kshetra. Okay, that means Lord is there in our heart, so it's called Kshetra. Okay, the field, and the knower of the field, one who knows this, that is Kshetrajna, is Atma and Paramatma. So the Atma in the heart and also Paramatma. So understood? So this is a real knowledge. Till now we thought these PhDs and material knowledge, whatever we got, BA, MA and all that, no? This is what knowledge is. That's what we think, real. But no, that's temporary knowledge. Even if you are a great double PhD holder or whatever scientist or whatever we are, once the soul leaves this body, all our material knowledge and qualifications is waste. And from next life, again that PhD person has to start from LKG. So what is that knowledge? That's temporary, only for this body, but not about spiritual knowledge. The real knowledge is knowing the difference between matter and spirit. Matter, that means a body is made up of fire, water, air, ether, and air. And to know about the soul. So this is real knowledge, to know about the soul, because this knowledge never dies, right? It's carried to the next life because it's in the spiritual intelligence along with mind, intelligence, and false ego. When the soul leaves the body, even that goes. So only a spiritual knowledge is taken to your next life. I can't even take my body back, right? The soul can't take anything. I can't even take a needle. Whatever I've made in this life and all the knowledge, I can't take. But the spiritual knowledge is carried to the next life. Neha vikramana sasti pratyavayana vidyate salpamapi dharmasya trayade mahabhavaya. Krishna says, whatever small devotional things you do, it's carried to the next life. So this is a real knowledge. Paravidya, aparavidya. One knowledge is temporary, and this is the real knowledge, to know the difference between matter and spirit. So you already know it. So Kshetra means the body, and Kshetrajna is the one who knows about the body, not the material body. I'm speaking about the spiritual part. Okay? Then again Krishna answers, Kshetrajnanam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam yatta jnanam matam mama. So what is Krishna saying? You should know that I am also the knower in all the bodies. And to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. This is my opinion. So Krishna says, what is real knowledge? We think that the knowledge means getting a lot of degrees and a good job. And that is the knowledge. That's what we are taught of, right? We are taught only that. There's no college or school which teaches about the soul. If they would have thought about the soul, the suicide rates in our country and all over the world would have decreased, or the different kind of bad things that's happening would have decreased if they know that there's karma involved, if they could elevate themselves to Sattvagun, if they know that the Lord is in our heart as Paramatma. So yes, Lord is in our heart as Paramatma. You can see the 400 form along with Atma. So don't misunderstand that it's only Atma there. There is Paramatma also. Okay. So anyone, whoever it is, all over the world, all living entities, even an ant, it has Paramatma in him. So that's why a learned Brahman, learned Pandit sees everyone equal, Pandita Samadarshina, because he sees the Paramatma in them, not the outside body. Okay, so this is a real knowledge, to know that the soul and the super soul is in our heart, and we are just an instrument, and this material body is made up of the 5 elements, and it can get destroyed anytime, right? So that's the real knowledge. So that means there are different koshas. See, consciousness means what? Anyone can give a term and describe consciousness before going to this kosha level?
It's
So,
Bhavna Prat.
yes,
And the
okay.
realization,
Very good.
self-realization.
Yeah, realization. What else, Yash? Anything else? Consciousness.
Uh, awareness,
Awareness of?
mind or soul.
Yes. So, yes,
To be
yes,
aware
Prabhu.
of yourself,
Yes, it's kind
like
of
your
an, yes, it's kind of an awareness, right? Like, you can unmute.
to be aware of your body and soul.
Yes, that's the real consciousness. So a dead person can't be conscious, right? So what do you think the consciousness is because of the presence of soul? If there is a soul in the body, okay, I'm not talking about coma state, I'm not talking about the unconscious state. That is all medical conditions. That's different. But still, a person who is in coma, still he is having the soul inside him. Might be his original consciousness not awake, but the subconscious level is there. So we have heard like people who are paralyzed and all that, they might not move their body and all that, they may not be aware what's happening outside and all, but still there's a subconscious mind inside. You play some good music which they like, or you some dear and near ones visit them, they kind of have these feelings and they respond. So even though they are kind of semi-conscious, so that means the subconscious level is awake. So consciousness, it's a big term, but then it means that you're aware of something. So I'm conscious of today. Okay, today is 18th April, it's Sunday and of 2021, and this is a time 6:30 something. And then I'm conscious what's happening, the Bhagavad-Gita, who am I, and all that, what's happening. So this is the consciousness level. Why I'm conscious? Because of the presence of soul. The soul is in the heart, but then the consciousness level is spread all over the body. We're feeling all that that's happening because of this consciousness level. So there are 5 koshas or the consciousness levels in human beings, starting with Annamaya. So Annamaya kosha means you've seen babies. What will the babies do who's crawling and all? Whatever is found on the floor, they take and keep it in their mouth. They don't know. Might be a cockroach also. My cousin's daughter, like she's crazy about cockroach because it's moving. She don't know it's an insect. She just run behind it and starts catching it and try to put on the mouth. These kids are crazy. Sometimes we need to keep checking on the mouth. What are they? So we should be very careful of that. That is because their consciousness not developed. So that is kind of an Annamaya kosha. Okay, we've seen monkeys always food, 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 food. So in human beings also, when we are young, very small, this is a kosha that the kids, they want to eat. Whatever they get pen and pencil, they put in the mouth. So this Annamaya kosha, okay, that's the consciousness. It's not developed. Then is Pranamaya. You'll grown a little bit more, then you know that I'm living. Okay, I'm a living being. I'm not dead matter. I'm living. So that is pranamaya. I know it's prana in me. Then manomaya. This is jnanamaya. Or manomaya is also called jnanamaya. So you're aware of something. Your mind is there, and the thoughts keep coming as you grow. When the small kids don't have many thoughts, they don't keep sit and think and all. No, the kids are very free. Like their mind is not matured enough. But later on, as we go in the teenage state, that's the bad state of puberty. There are a lot of thoughts comes, especially in girls and all because of hormonal change. So that is manomaya, jnanamaya, and then that is you start be aware of something. And vijnanamaya, you really get some knowledge about the. This is what we are doing now. Vijnanamaya, that is real knowledge about the soul and matter and all that. Vijnanamaya, and then once you get that knowledge, then you start being in Anandamaya. Anandamaya Abhyasa. That means once you know that I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul, you start working for the soul. You try to start feeding the soul. That means the mantra meditation or some spiritual things, and then you become happy. That's what people say. Once they start chanting, they are happy. They can't express the happiness, but they are really happy. They get the peace. So that is bliss, Anandamaya. So Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manonmaya, Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya. This is one of the question in your quiz. These are the different. So based on some, I'm not saying it's only kids in this level. There are people who are still living, who don't know about the soul. They don't even know that the soul exists. They just think it, live in the body concept. They just want food, food, food. They live to eat, not eat to live. So that is this consciousness. Based on this consciousness level, there are 4 lakh of human species. You understood? There are 84 lakh species, millions, but in that 4 lakh, Chatur Lakshani Manava. So based on this consciousness level. So now you are all in this level, kind of, we are in Vijnana Maya and we are almost near the highest consciousness, that is Ananda Maya. This is the highest consciousness. So based on this consciousness, different human beings are there and we all get evolved in as your consciousness develop and your final consciousness, you get liberation. So that's why you should uplift your consciousness, and that can be done by spiritual practice. Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhir avyaktam evacha indriyani dashaikam cha panchachendriya gochara ichadvesha sukham dukkam sangataschetana trita etat kshetram samasena savikaram udahritam. What does Krishna say? The 5 great elements, you know the elements, right? Just now we discussed. What was that? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. You can see Bhumi, Rapo, Nalo, Vayu, Kam, Manor, Bhuti, Revicha. The 5 elements. Then along with that, the false ego, intelligence, and false ego, mind. Okay, unmanifested. We can't see the mind, we can't touch the mind, so it's unmanifested. And the 10 senses, we know, eye, ears, nose, tongue, touch, all that. And along with that, we have the seeing and hearing and all the sense things. And the mind, then the 5 sense objects again, the desires, hatred, happiness, distress, agitate, aggregate, the life symptoms, that's consciousness, convictions, all these are considered in summary to the field of activities and its interaction. So we know the human body is considered to be a chariot, right? We have compared it to a chariot. So anyone knows what are the horses are the senses, it's already given. What is the mind in this picture? As Rishabh Prabhu, what's a mind as in the chariot?
Mind, reins of the horse.
The reins of the horse. Very good. Yes, Chinmay and the Prabhu. So who's the charioteer and who's the owner?
Charioteer is
Buddhi, intelligence. Yes, and the owner of the chariot.
Atma.
Very good. Atma, the soul. Yes, so the human body is considered to a chariot, and then the 5 senses are the horses, the reins are the mind, then you have the intelligence who's driving it, and the soul. So in order to, when you ask how to control your mind, first you should be intelligent enough, in the sense not material, spiritual. The more you give spiritual knowledge and makes your intelligence strong, then your mind automatically becomes the strong, because the intelligence is controlling the reins, that the driver, the charioteer is controlling the reins. He can either tight it or lose it, whatever he wants. So the intelligence gives instruction to the mind, and mind indirect controlling the senses. So this is what we should do. But in order to make your intelligence strong, you should feed the soul. The feeding of the soul has to be done. So it's like a bird in the cage. We have already discussed in the 2nd chapter. So the soul is like a bird and the body is like a cage. What's the use of just cleaning the cage and polishing and coloring it and all? But if you don't feed the bird is going to die anyway. So the soul will become weaker and weaker and weaker if you don't give the real knowledge of Atma, Paramatma and all that. Then we can't control our mind, we can't control the senses. The soul has to be awakened. And what is the food for the soul? As we all know, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra in Kali Yuga. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Iva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva 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 Teradir Anyata. So chanting the holy name of the Lord is the prescribed method in Kali Yuga. So can you all unmute once and then chant?
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So why I'm making all of you chant together, there's a positive energy when you chant together. Okay, so this is a food for the soul. We should make our soul strong, then the intelligence becomes strong, the mind becomes strong, and the senses are controlled. Once the senses are controlled, then we have a good life. Then we can start our process for liberation or moksha. So chanting should be done every day. So please chant at least 108 times every day minimum. Maximum, how much have I want, you can chant. Okay. So the consciousness is, I can give you a simple example about a knife in robber's hand. So a robber might have a knife. He comes to steal your property and rob you and do theft. So when he comes, he has a knife in his hand. What is his level of consciousness? Oh, I have to self-defend myself. I have to kill the honor if I want to steal things. But the same knife, if it is in the hands of a doctor, if it's in the hands of a surgeon, what is his consciousness? He wants to save the patient, right? A heart surgery or anything, a surgeon, cardiac surgeon or anyone, he wants to do an operation and save the person. So he's not going to hurt that patient. But yes, surgery can go wrong because everything is not in our hands, right? We do our best. Surgery is always half, like 50% in our hand, 50% in God's hand. So if it's like Rake Krishna Mare Krishna Rake. If Krishna want to protect someone, nobody can kill him. If Krishna want to kill that person, nobody can protect him. So, but then the consciousness is different. A surgeon's consciousness is, I have to save this person. And a robber's consciousness, I have to kill the person. So it's, the knife is the same. Might be there's difference in the outward appearance, but this knife is same. But the purpose is done is different. That is based on the consciousness. So this is the right consciousness. This is the wrong consciousness. So understood what is consciousness? That's very important to know what's consciousness. So the body is the kshetra, the field, and the knower of the field, kshetrajna, is Atma and Paramatma. Okay, humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even-mindedness, amidst pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to Krishna, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be the knowledge. Okay, so what the Krishna says, this is knowledge, and beside this, nothing is knowledge. So when you say knowledge means to inquire about the truth, atato brahma jijnasa. You should ask, who am I? Why am I in this material world? Why am I suffering? Why is this all sufferings coming? Where should I go? How to end the process of birth, death, old age, disease? And you approach a bona fide spiritual master, then you start doing the process. So these are all knowledge, Krishna says, and others, everything beside these are not knowledge. Sarvendriya gunabhasam, sarvendriya vivarjitam, asaktam sarva prichaiva, nirgunam gunabhoktracha. The super soul is the original source of all sense, yet he is without sense. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the mode of nature. At the same time, he is the master of all the modes of material nature. So, morning we were saying about the three modes of material nature: Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. The detail we'll study tomorrow. Now, Krishna is the master of the three modes, or he is in Shuddha Sattvagun. That's why he's called transcendental. He's above the three modes. He's controlling the three modes, or he's a owner of the three modes. So that means the three modes doesn't act on him, right? So he's not bond of karma, he's free, he's independent, and it said that he has all senses, but he's without senses. What does that mean? That means Krishna's senses are all same. With eyes he can eat, with mouth he can see. So angani yasya sakalendriya vritti mandi. So all his senses are like equal. So it means like he doesn't have a sense, but he doesn't have a material sense like us, but he has a spiritual sense. And he's unattached, like a water on the leaf of lotus. He's unattached, and he's a master of all the material nature. So that's Krishna, who's a master. So this is the enjoyer. So Arjuna asked many questions, right? What is kshetra? Kshetra means the field or the body. Kshetrajna is the knower of the field, or the Atma or Paramatma. And what is the real knowledge? To know the difference between matter and spirit, soul and material body. Then who's the enjoyer? Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. And then about the material nature, what is Prakriti? The three modes of material nature. And what is consciousness? The level of awareness. Annamaya, Pranamaya, then Manonmaya or Jnanamaya, then Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya. So these are all different consciousness levels in human beings. And then now Krishna speaks about Atma and Paramatma being in the like two birds in the same tree. Idi kshetram tata jnanam jneyam choktam samasataha matbhakta etat vijnaya madbhavayopa Padyate. Thus, the field of activity is the body, knowledge, and the knowable have been summarily described by me. Described only by my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature. So, Krishna has spoken about the field of activities, that is the body, then the knower of the body, then the knowledge. All this Krishna told. It would look like confusing, but it's easy, right? Just it's very clear. Just understand one word. What is kshetra, the body, kshetrajna, the soul, and atma. Knowledge means difference between matter and spirit. Then enjoyer is Krishna. Then consciousness means the level of awareness, and different 5 level of koshas we learned. And then what else? Consciousness. And then knowledge, field of knowledge. What else we learned? What is the real knowledge? Okay, so this we already learned. Okay, all these activities and all that. And what is the best method also we learned, how to feed the soul. So Krishna says, if you know this, that's enough. That's a perfect way of coming out or getting moksha. Now as you told, Atma and Paramatma is in our heart, as we learned, right? Atma is in the heart, and it is 1 by 10,000 the tip of the hair. We can't see Atma, we can't see the soul, but this is also Satchidananda. In quality we are same, but in quantity we are small. And Paramatma, the 400 form, is also in our heart. So it's like two birds in the same tree. You can see here two birds are here, right? One bird is eating the fruit of the tree, and the other bird is a witness, just a witness. The same way, us, this Atma, the soul, is doing all this karma, busy doing karma, and the Paramatma is a witness. So when you ask, oh, people are doing bad things, isn't Krishna in their heart also? Why is still Krishna sanctioning it? Krishna is a sweet father. He is not a strict father. He is just giving you the free will. You're giving the independence. You can misuse it or not. See, this Bhagavad-Gita class was there. If you want, you can come and attend the class. Nobody compels you. If you don't want, you can just leave and be happy and merry, and you will be always in ignorance, right? You'll always in ignorance. Your consciousness won't develop. And this is your choice. So same way, Krishna gives you a choice. You do what you like. Krishna gives that independence. So he's not strict. You do only this. No, that's why he made the 3 modes of material nature. Either you can be in ignorance, tamoguna, always sleeping on the bed even now, or you can be in rajaguna, passionate, always greedy, or you can be in sattaguna, know about the Lord and elevate yourself. So Krishna is a witness. He's been witness in all throughout our janmas, all 84 lakh species. He knows everything. But then the Atma is busy eating the fruit, okay, doing the karma. So you can see the 2 birds. But when the Atma turns to Paramatma, that means when we start realizing about Krishna, when we start chanting and when we start our spiritual life, that's the time the bonding, the process of liberation starts. So Krishna is waiting in everyone's heart. He's just waiting. When will the Atma turn to me? When will he come back to me? He's waiting. We take 1 step towards Krishna, he takes 100 steps towards us. So we are fortunate souls. We have started the process, right? Now now Krishna will speed it up. But we should also put effort. Every day we should Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. We should hear about the Lord and chant. Pragritim Purusham Chaiva Vidhi Anadi Ubhav api vikaramscha gunamschaiva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. So material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginless. Their transformation and the modes of matter are products of material nature. So why it said beginless? Because we've been eternally there. We are unborn. We are eternally, we were in spiritual world. Just that we fell down, just that for temporary purpose, for the mistake we've done, we are in this material body, we are in this material nature. So it doesn't mean we were born like that. So the material body is born. So-called birthday, we celebrate the birthday. That's the day of the birth for the body, not the soul. The soul been there for a long time, beginless. Okay, it's time immemorial. It was there, and even the material nature, everything was there. Lord Krishna is Govindam Adi Purusham, even he was there. Karya-karana kartritve hetu prakriti ruchyate purusha shuka sukhanam bhoktre hetur uchyate. Nature is said to be the cause of all material cause and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of various sufferings and enjoyment in this world. So this is what we eat, whatever we see and everything, then material nature gives an animal body next life, and we misuse our human body. So all this, the sufferings which we have, is because of our karma. We are responsible. So I want some people to unmute and answer. You can see this person hanging on the tree, right? So what is there down on the picture? Yes, Prabhu.
Snakes, nags.
Yeah. So if he leaves his hand, what happens to him? He falls on the pit of snakes, and the poisonous snakes will bite him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But what if he doesn't leave the hand and he still stays there? What's happening here?
Oh,
What is
the elephant is going to break the tree and he's going to fall down anyways.
Yeah, so elephant is somehow going to break the tree and he'll fall down, or he might come along with the tree and the elephant is going to smash him or kill him anyway. Yes. Okay, so you answered two things. Now, Nitikshna, what's above the man?
Above the man is the beehive.
Ah, the beehive with the honeycomb. And what is the bees doing there? You can see here small bees.
Bees are biting him. And
Bees are biting him. Okay, yes. And what is he trying to do with his tongue?
licking the honey.
Yeah, he's trying to lick the honey. Okay, so this is what our life is. Okay, so we are fully busy in enjoying the little happiness coming from this material world, but we have a lot of problem around us. We have corona on one side, we have diseases like cancer on one side, we have problems like accidents and unnatural things there, or tsunamis and calamities. Everything is around us. Nobody can say I'm fully safe. No, there is chance because this material world is meant for that. Patam yat vipatam tandesha. Each step you take, there's danger. Hundreds. The moment you take a step outside or inside the house, even that inside the house is not safe. Anything can happen at any time. The material world is like that. It's made like that. What to do? It's full of sufferings. So we are all like this man. We are trying to hard to be struggle for existence. We are struggling, but then when you leave your hand, you're going to fall in the pit of snakes of all diseases and all problems. But you keep on staying there. The time, the factor, time. Nobody can stop time. Anyone can get old age and disease. So the time also takes you out or somehow smash you. And there's few rats biting you. That means small problems disturbing you. And you can see here honeybees biting him. All these problems are around him, right? Below there's snakes. This side it's elephant. There is mouse. There is a honeycomb. And what is he doing? Even though the bees are biting him, he's trying to lick the small honey that's falling from the comb. Isn't this our situation? Isn't we in this situation? We have a lot of problems around. We are not trying to solve the problem. Instead, we are enjoying life. The small things in life. Okay, the small enjoyment is so-called enjoyment, happiness. We think it's permanent, and we are still trying. Why he is not seeing the God here? You can see here, Lord is coming in his Garuda, and he's putting his hand out. Come, I'm there to help you. Come out. Enough of all these. How many janmas you've been doing this? Come, enough now. It's time for you to come back, end the cycle of birth and death. And is this person bothered? He's not even seeing whether Lord is there or not. He's enjoying the honey out of all these problems. Same way, we're all enjoying. 99% of the population in the whole world is enjoying like this. Might be 1% is turning to the Lord and doing spiritual activities, right? So the moment we turn to the Lord, He's there. He's there in front of us. We are not able to see. He's there to take us out from the birth, death, old age, disease, and all the problems. So take the process of spiritual life and try to go back, end this problem. So this is a small pictorial representation of the material world. I really liked it because it has so much meaning and depth of thoughts in this picture. Okay, I'm not scaring you, but this is a life. You accept it or not. Yes, this is our life. So material world is meant for that, meant for sufferings. So we have the four main problems: janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi, dukkha, doshana, darshana, birth, death, old age, and disease. Nobody can prevent these. So disease comes because of all our karma. Purva Janma Kritam Papam Vyati Rupena Jayate. Whatever karma, bad karmas we have done in a past life, it comes as disease. So, what can we do? We need to suffer it, right? We need to suffer it. Then only the karma ends. But then, if you surrender to Lord, the Lord can do wonders. He can change your destiny. He can change your the future and the karma, because He's the one. He says, "Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishami ma shucha." I take care of all your sinful reactions. Do not worry. That's a promise the Lord gives. So, if you really want to end this process, take up the spiritual life. And what about problems? Nobody wants problem, right? Nobody can avoid problems. It keeps coming, right? It comes on its own. So similarly, happiness also will come its own. We need to not work for happiness. It comes as you're destined, as your destiny, your karma allows you to suffer. Same way, your karma or destiny will come as happiness also to you. But you don't have to work hard and loiter around. Don't about forgetting the soul. Don't forget the soul. These are the real problems: birth, death, old age, disease. And the temporary problem is food, water, shelter, clothing. These are all temporary. Anyway, this will be taken care. Don't give much importance. What will I eat? Where will I sleep? What the dress I'll wear? Try to solve these problems. These are temporary. These are permanent problems. So we should try to solve them. Upadrashtanu manta cha bhadra bhokta maheshwaraha paramatmedi chapyukto dehe asme purusha paraha. Yet in this body there's another, a transcendental enjoyer, who's the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as super soul. So this is what we study. Krishna is in our heart as super soul. Paramatmedi Chapya Ukto. Okay, so some people realize that Paramatma and start to meditate on the Paramatma, but that is also not the complete level. Complete is Bhagavan, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So when you know that the Lord is in your heart as super soul, then you need not ask for things. Oh Krishna, I want that, I want this, I want a big car, I want that, this. Krishna knows, He'll take care of it. He's a super soul in your heart, He knows, right? But the more you try to approach Him, the more He responds. Ye yadamam prapatyante tam tadeva vachamyam. How you approach Krishna, Krishna reciprocates. So Krishna starts reciprocating once you start your spiritual journey. Dhyanenatmani pashyanti kechit atmanamatmana anye sakyena yogena karma yogena chapare. Some perceive the super soul within themselves through meditation, others through the cultivation of knowledge, and still others through working without fruitive desires. So there are different ways to realize the super soul, either by taking a lot of knowledge. See what we are doing now from Bhagavad-Gita, we realize that there is an Paramatma in the heart. Or some people do meditation on the Paramatma and then they realize it. Or some people, they work without attachment, that is detached, in a detached way. Anyetva eva achananta Shrutva nebhya upasate te apichati tatta eva mrityum shruti parayana. Again, these are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about Him from others. This is the best thing, Shabda Praman. So there is Shabda Praman, Pratyaksha Praman, Anuman. So Shabda Praman, you try to hear the Vedas, the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is Shabda Praman. You can hear even the Hare Krishna mantra is Shabda. Okay, when you chant, you try to concentrate on the name, not you try to concentrate on the Lord, try to imagine the form of the Lord. That's next level. It will come. But initially, try to hear the Shabda, the vibration. That's very important. So you can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead upon hearing about Him from others. Right? And others say about the Supreme Lord, then you hear Shravanam. That's important. Because of the tendency to hear from the authorities, they also transcend the birth and death. So just by hearing about the Lord, Janma karma jametityam evam yoviti tattvataha tyaktvadeham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjana. 4th chapter, 9th sloka, Krishna says, just know about Krishna's appearing and activities, then there is no punarjanma. The same way, if you have this tendency to hear about the Lord, so Mataji was saying she likes to hear about the stories of Krishna and his devotees. Good, that's a good process for liberation. Just hear about the Lord. So easy, no? Just hear about Him. So that was Mother Deva who they did from Kapila. Kapila was her own son, but she didn't see his son. See, there's no difference of youth, young or old age in spiritual life. In spiritual life, it's about the soul. It's how much knowledge the soul gets, that person is considered senior. So that means Kapila, even though it's a son of Devahuti, this is a story in Bhagavatam, but Kapila Muni is Krishna himself, and he comes and explains all this knowledge to his own mother. Okay, so that's what spiritual knowledge is about. So you don't know who gets the mercy. Prakrityaiva cha karmani kriyamanani sarvashah ya pashyati tadatmanam akartaram sa pashyati. So one who can see that all activities are performed by body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. It's kind of little confusing. Our body is like a machine. You can see here now. It's full of machine, the brain and the lungs and digestive system, everything. And who's driving it? The soul. You can see here the soul is driving it. But who is a witness there? The Paramatma, the super soul. Krishna is there, right? So we think we are doing everything. Oh, I did that. I did this. But when you go and ask your devotee, like, oh Prabhu, oh Mataji, you have done that so wonderful. And what does the devotee say? It's Krishna's mercy. Because we know that nothing happens without a sanction. So that means we know that our body is performing things which is made up of the material nature, earth, water, fire, air, ether. But we see that the self does do nothing and actually sees the Paramatma. So the Atma is not actually doing it. The three modes of nature is making us do. We are like a puppet in their hands. They are making us do. Krishna is sanctioning. So what are we actually doing? We are doing nothing. The soul is just sitting there. Nimitta matra bhavavavya sachin. What is Krishna saying? Arjuna, I've already killed all of them. You're just an instrument, right? So that means we are also an instrument. So the person who knows that we are not the actual doer sees actually. That means that is the real knowledge, to know that we are not doing. So why are we proud of something? We win something or we have all these good things in life. Why are we proud and puffed up? We know we are not the actual doer. The three modes of material nature is making us do. Krishna is sanctioning it as a witness. So it's the material nature is doing. We are just an instrument. As I told you, the father is riding the bike. He makes a small kid sit in front of him. Does it mean the kid is driving? No. The same way, we are soul and we are a minute part. But there's Paramatma who's sanctioning everything. And the three modes of material nature make us do things. So we should not be proud of that. Yata prakashyati eka Krishnam lokam imam ravi kshetram kshetri tadat Krishnam Prakasyati Bharata, O son of Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity, one within the body, illuminates the entire body by consciousness. So I told you, consciousness is spread all over the body. We are feeling, we are getting emotions, all this because the consciousness is spread. And what the person is conscious means what? The soul is present. The presence of the soul makes the body conscious. But exception cases are there, as I told you. Okay, all that medical conditions where the subconscious level is active, but the conscious, the real consciousness is not awake. And then we all are in this consciousness, Annamaya, Pranamaya. We know that we have to eat to live and all that. So that's a basic level which the animals have: eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Even a dog, when he gets up in the morning, first thing is like, where's my food? That's the only thing the dog is worried. Where's my food? Again, afternoon, where's my food? Night, where's my food? And again, he sleeps. This is what he does in life. All the animals, food, food, food. That is their consciousness. We can't blame them. That's the lowest consciousness in an animal. But what is the difference between us and the animals then? We are two-legged, they are four-legged. That's the difference. So Prabhupada says, don't become a polished animal. Don't become an animal. Start doing your dharma. We have to elevate our consciousness from that. Yes, the food part is there. You have to take care because you have to keep your body and soul together. That's fine. The body is given by Lord and Lord resides in the heart. So the body has to be taken care. But don't be like too much involved in sense gratification. Come out of it. Then we have Jiva Maya, Prana Maya. We know we are living, right? We are living. Have the soul inside. We know we are living. We're not aware of the soul. But then Manonmaya, the Jnanamaya, we start knowing about the soul. Then Vijnanamaya, we get more knowledge about the Lord and all that. And after getting that, we become Anandamaya. So all the pure devotees, like Prabhupada, was in always Anandamaya. That's a transcendental bliss. That's kind of happiness you get by doing spiritual life. So please start chanting then you realize it. Kshetra kshetrajnayorevam antaram jnana chakshusha buddha prakriti moksham cha ye viduryanti te param. Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body. So body is kshetra, the made up of material elements and all that, then and the soul and all. Then the knower of the body is Atma or Paramatma. Can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature and attain the supreme goal. So once you know that we are not this body, we are spirit soul, you start working for the soul. The body is anyway going to die. Forget about the body. Don't be too involved in the body. Focus on the soul. Then once you start focusing on the soul, start feeding the soul with the Hare Krishna mantra, doing meditation, mantra meditation, and all devotional service of hearing and all, then the soul become more stronger. Then you know the process of liberation, right? You get moksha, mukti. So what is the solution from all the problems? Chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. There's no other way in Kali Yuga. So please take up chanting. In Kali Yuga, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. So that's the Hare Nama Iva Kevalam, the Hare Nama Iva Kevalam, right? Yes, Roshan Prabhu, what is that sloka? Hare Nama.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nama Kevalam. Hello,
Naste Vagatiranyada. Yes, Brihat Naradiya Puran says, so this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's Krishna himself. He says in Kali Yuga, there's no other way except chanting the holy name. There are different ways like meditation and everything you can try, but it takes lot of lifetime. So just take to this process. This is the only way to get moksha in one lifetime. We don't want to waste our life. So take this rare opportunity. You're a fortunate souls. We don't know how fortunate we are to come under the protection of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada. So all glories to Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguish the fire of conditioned life of repeated birth and death. So the Sri Krishna Sankirtan will take care of all the problems in our life, birth, death, old age and disease. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadhavagni nirvapanam shreya kairava chandrika vidaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandambudivardhanam pradipadam purnamrita swadanam sarvatma snatanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is from Shishtashtakam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have written only 8 verses. He didn't write any books and all. He came as Krishna and he wrote Shishtashtakam. It's very sweet. Later on, I'll teach you Shishtashtakam in advanced class, where it means Cheto Darpana Marjana. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra will clean your heart. Anandambudhi Vardhanam. It gives you much of happiness, Anandamaya. And then it takes away Bhava Davagni Nirvapanam. That means the material world is like a forest fire, and it extinguished the fire of conditioned life, birth and death. Everything will be destroyed. And Param Vijayade, Sri Krishna Sankirtan. So Krishna Sankirtan is all glories to it, because it takes care of, just by chanting Hare Krishna, you can be free from the bondage of birth, death, old age and disease. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Please unmute and chant once.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.